NASA is putting 20 billion to finance the development of the new moon base. So human can actually be able to live on the moon. We work with NASA, we develop several food production system, greenhouse system to grow plants in space. There is hope of international collaboration towards this mission.
Space economy is our next topic, and I'm joined here today by Barbara Belvisi, the CEO of Interstellar. Barbara, until not long ago, space economy sounded like something from a science fiction film, yet everyone is talking about it here at the FII Miami.
Everybody's talking about it because the new NASA administrator, Jared Isaacman, did a very big announcement 2 days ago, and it's like many of us from the space industry are here, so that's been the number one topic of conversation, I must say. And the announcement is that NASA is putting 20 billion to finance the development of the new moon base. So it means the infrastructure, the habitat, the power, the telecommunication, so human can actually be able to live on the moon. So that's a first of its kind program.
What does it signal, in your opinion, this announcement?
Well, it's true that there is a race between America, the United States, and China. And this positioning of NASA is very strong and it's willing to reaffirm its leadership. And in a very collaborative way as well, because they're not looking to do everything by themselves, but also to collaborate with the European and other space agencies. So, which is a proof of, it's also a geopolitical approach on how together we can settle on the moon.
It shows that America is set to win this race. But is it a zero-sum game? Is it either one or the other?
When there is a race, it has always been pushing humans to do incredible things. So when you look at the Apollo program back in the days, this competition between two countries actually forced everybody and all the countries to collaborate together to make it happen. And even though it was through the leadership of America, it was a great international collaboration. And I think this is the same thing that we're going to see with this moon base. Is the United States will be, leading all of that and pushing with, very precise and very ambitious deadlines that typically Europeans are not able to set. So it's important that the United States is taking this position. And again, it will, I think it will gather people all together. So there is hope of international collaboration towards this mission.
However, Interstellar is a European company coming from France.
Yes, I'm French, but we're a mix. So we're a U.S. company with a French subsidiary. So we work with NASA. We develop several food production system, greenhouse system to grow plants in space. And at the same time, we have the Earth application that we do mostly in Europe, where we develop the technology that we sell to cosmetic company, mostly in Europe. So we have both, and I kind of like it.
The space economy is a topic here, as we said in Miami. What are the main messages you would like to get across for people to understand the opportunities of this area?
Well, there is a huge shift happening I think, in the investment sector towards financing companies evolving in the space industry, and especially because of course, this NASA announcement. 20 billion it's a lot of money, and it's really dedicated towards the infrastructure structure of the moon base. But not only that, SpaceX IPO, is one of its kind as well. It's going to be the largest IPO ever done. And it can show to investors that there is profitability in investing in space businesses. The fact that Blue Origin as well, has been focusing all its attention to the lunar economy is also showing investors that there is huge potential. So for me, there will be a before and an after SpaceX IPO.
Do you feel that you just maybe partially answer this question when players such as Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos entered the space economy? Was that a tipping point for the industry?
I think it was a tipping point for when Elon Musk started SpaceX, when Jeff Bezos proved what he can build with Blue Origin. There is another amazing space entrepreneur, Kam Gafarian, who's been also developing many different companies from,
Here now?
he's here, exactly. So I think they show to other entrepreneurs that it was possible to start space companies, to make them profitable, to attract investors, and to deliver products. So it doesn't have to be only governmental, but it can be led by private companies.
So where do private companies such as yours come in this big new sector?
So where are we coming and we're trying to, to add a layer to what's been already being built. As I said, there are private companies building space station, like Axiom Space, like Vast, and we are collaborating with them to integrate our system. So it's a very partnership and integration approach towards space. It's better to collaborate all together than trying to do everything on your own, because space is hard. So at a certain point, you will need the support from the other players.
Barbara, Interstellar Lab is building AI farming systems in space. First, I would like to ask, how do they function? How do they work? And secondly, you did mention the beauty industry, but is this also a way for food security?
Alors, so the way our farming system works, so initially, so we started with a autonomous greenhouse concept for NASA to be put on the moon. So we started by designing a lunar greenhouse. Then from this lunar greenhouse, we did what NASA really helped us toward that. We did a technology transfer to develop a Earth-based greenhouse, so a greenhouse that will function on Earth. So the way it works, it's fully automated system. There's a bunch of sensors. It's a completely sealed bubble, 40 feet long, 20 feet large, 20 feet tall. And we have the new version coming this year, which is 65 feet long, 25 feet tall, 25 feet wide. Completely sealed. We recycle the water, we capture the CO2, we automatize the creation of the climate. And the computer, by looking at the different data from the sensors and the camera, is just changing the temperature, the humidity, the lighting. So we accelerate plant growth. Sometimes, it will take a year and you only have one flowering period for the specific plant. In our system, they can flower up to 3 to 4 times the same year. So it's really like we produce much more and with higher quality. And so this is where, the beauty industry came to us and they were like, well, we have problems of sourcing those plants that we use for the perfume, for the skincare. They're very rare, they're very expensive, it's difficult to find, we're using too much water to treat them. And so our solution was perfect for the need. So we installed the farms next to their extraction facility. And this is our, terrestrial market. It's basically the cosmetic nutraceutical industry is helping us finance our space program. Then when it comes to food security, we did a different research. We grow different type of food. I must say that right now we think that the business is much more interesting on the beauty and nutraceutical side. Our form factor is okay to produce per farm around 10 tons of biomass, so which is not a lot. So that does not cover yet the food demand. It cover more, the high value extract plant demand.
But do you think the future in general is going in that direction?
100%. I think indoor farm is providing is an amazing solution to grow plants in a faster way, using less resources. You need power optimization. Power was a big problem for many of the indoor farms. We figured out some solution, but it used much less water, and so that's one of the reasons why also. We have FII Institute as one of our investors, is because we saw the potential in Saudi Arabia in desert zone to implement our farming system.
We have seen predictions by Brookings saying the global space economy will triple from $630 billion in 23 to $1.8 trillion in 35. Which industries do you expect to thrive specifically?
Well, to be honest, with the recent announcement, I think that everything around data center in space will be huge, and because of what's happening with AI and the need to provide more capacity to develop the AI, it seems like a very efficient solution to have the data center put in space. That's the first one. Then the second one I think will be power, nuclear power. Because to power the moon base, you will need a small nuclear reactor. And I see here a lot of potential, and especially on terrestrial application, both space and Earth. And of course, everything more on the science side. I will say that everything related to research in microgravity, low gravity, lunar environments for the production of plants like us or, different type of ingredient or material is also a very booming industry.
You mentioned your cooperation with the FII Institute. The future of work has been one of the leading reports of the FII Institute. What is the profile of workers needed for space economy, or is it all on AI?
It's a very good question. Well, it's true that we have a autonomous system, so and we are really focusing on reducing the time that human will be operating the system, though they are not robotized. So what it means that the AI is controlling the climates and the farmer just have to do the seeding and the harvesting. Well, that's until the humanoid robots, will be available, and they eventually will be cheaper actually than a human farmer. So let's see how the transition operates. We saw even in the way we were growing our team. That we needed to recruit less and we are using more AI tools. So there is a real transformation happening. And we've seen that over the past 2 years, how fast it's been, forcing our company as well to change in the way we organize and we develop the product.
Knowing that the space economy will grow, are we doing enough to train your future colleagues?
I think, still it's a very small group of people that is aware of what's happening in space. So we need the general public to be more aware and really understand, the tremendous potential of what's unlocking this new NASA space program. And I'm not sure everybody realized that. So more communication, more conversation like this, will be needed to spread to spread the what's happening.
That's why we are here in Miami at the FI Priority. Thank you very much, Barbara.
Thank you.